Hi, my name is Jibby James with Hardwired, and this is my review of Starfield. So sit back and prepare to launch into one of this year's biggest titles in gaming. First off, this game is massive, and there's quite a lot to unpack here, so let's lay it all out there.
Alright, let's keep moving.
This intro got a lot of hate, and I never really understood that. The opening menu is much like Skyrim, and a little like Fallout 4 too, I thought. Their opening message on the screen, and didn't really bother me either. I love the opening. It felt very Bethesda to me.
Exactly.
I've been a big fan of Bethesda since Morrowind hit the Xbox. I've loved every game they've released. Okay, almost every game. But I will say, I actually enjoyed Fallout 76 once they added NPCs. Elder Scrolls Online, it's alright. This game, Starfield,
I have a good feeling about you.
Group hug now or at the end of the shift?
is by far my favorite Bethesda title.
I mean, where else would I get to dodge space pirates and discover new planets?
Starfield, for that matter, is one of my favorite games to ever adventure through. Are there some annoying lines of dialogue?
You're carrying a lot.
Game crashing glitches? And water physics worthy of an early 2000s game? Sure. But what game isn't without its share of bugs and issues? Not those bugs. These bugs. It's not really perfect in that regard, but nothing is. No Man's Sky, it released to a huge disappointment, and Cyberpunk, well, we know what happened there. I'll also say, No Man's Sky made a huge comeback, and Cyberpunk, they fixed their issues as well, and just released some new DLC. There was talk about invisible walls and not being able to explore the entire planet from one landing point. And before the release, I was bummed and imagined it was going to be much smaller than it actually is. However, once I got into the game,
Okay, let's see what we've got.
this didn't bother me in the least. These maps are huge, and I mean huge. I tried to reach the end of one and I got tired of running. So I gave up. When trying to reach those borders, it's a challenge just to not get distracted. Most planets have places to explore, and some even have side quests on them.
You arrived at just the right time, stranger.
You can see the edge in the map screen, so it's easy to find it. You just gotta put in the legwork. Just make sure your inventory is light before you do that.
You'll need to explore the area on foot.
Walking on foot everywhere can be a drudging task at times. I would love it if they eventually added land vehicles to the game. It could also be the opportunity to build something else, because the building and customization is where this game shines. I spent hours upon hours building my spaceships and updating them with new tech as I progressed through the game. There's a learning curve to shipbuilding, and once you understand it, it's much easier. You can also build outposts on planets, where you can assign crew and mine resources, something else I lost hours playing with and loved.
I didn't know how much that was needed until just now.
Speaking of customization, there's plenty of customization when it comes to your character as well. Once you've figured out the look for your character, then you choose from different backgrounds, such as Pilgrim, Explorer, Ronin, and more. And these also impact dialogue options later in the game.
How the hell did you know that?
After that, you can pick up to 3 traits before naming your character. After making my character, I also decided to take a crack at the crew from Hardwired, starting with the man himself, Andrew Hamilton. Maybe change the hair. Perfect. Next, I moved on to the man of mayhem, Levi Barner. It was here I realized they don't have many options in the way of beards, which is where I'm guessing all the bad reviews for this game are coming from, the bearded community. I feel you. Mods are on the way. Lastly, I wanted to try Robbie Nolan. That's when I discovered there's no glasses in Starfield. Granted, this is way into the future and perhaps vision technology has come a long way. Or maybe that's why almost every NPC in a major city is bug-eyed. Moving on.
No. It's a laser, not a sledgehammer. Ease up. Benning, if you got paid per break, you'd be a millionaire.
When it comes to the story, or should I say stories, I was pulled in.
Is that right, cowboy? Went on a trip, huh?
And interested.
Let's pretend for a second Delgado's correct. And there's information here about Crix's legacy.
I enjoyed every opportunity to go out on a new quest. But what's a story without a soundtrack? This game has a score that would make Spielberg proud. The music never felt out of place, nor did the sound for that matter. The creaks and groans of the ship as you fly through space. The screeching sounds of local wildlife remind you humans aren't the only threat. Whether it was the eerie wind over a barren wasteland, or the calm drops of rainfall on a distant planet. Starfield, with a nice pair of gaming headphones on a Tuesday night, transports you to a galaxy far, far away. The soundtrack, sound design, and visuals are all really well done. And to tie it all together, the voiceover work for the missions and campaign is the icing on the cake. These voice actors did a bang-up job.
Traditionally, people have preconceived notions of which hand should get power.
I wasn't aware we were competing, but game on.
Oh no, don't you two start. We're supposed to be working together, not competing.
Their tones and dialogue really felt true to their characters.
In all my time amongst the stars, I have never heard of such a thing. What do you think that place was?
Outside of the story, there's loads of missions and adventures to find yourself in.
They said if I didn't do exactly what they said, they'd kill me.
A couple of spacers docked and started shooting up the place.
Mission boards are another way to grab quick quests, anywhere from hunting down pirates, or clearing monsters out of dark caves, to smuggling goods or scanning nearby planets. Each planet has different resources available for you to collect. A quick scan of the planet and you'll see the available resources. Once you find an area that has the resources you want, all you have to do is land and start building your outpost. Speaking of scanning, there's thousands of plants and wildlife to scan and discover. Aside from creatures and enemies, mostly everything else levels with you. New ship parts, weapons, and armor become available to higher your level. There's an array of weapons to take to the fight, and an assortment of clothing and armor options are also there and available for upgrades. There's research stations to upgrade weapons and armor, create meds and food, and even learn new objects to build at your outposts. The game has a photo mode, and I'd be lying if I didn't say I also spent several hours playing with this feature. It's a great way to capture your new ship flying through the galaxy, or that gorgeous sunrise on the horizon, or that grenade shell firing from your launcher. Not only do you get to capture those moments, but the game will also play those memories back in the loading screens. That said, it's not all sunshine and sandy beaches.
Let's take a moment to sort it out.
Take the followers, for example.
Is mining on the schedule today?
They got on my nerves.
Have you lost your mind?
Frequently.
Is there even a mind to lose?
Especially in moments when they were stuck with me until we finished a certain mission pertaining to that companion.
Hey, when you're not busy, let's chat.
The game has over 200,000 lines of dialogue.
We have a lot to talk about.
But out of all that voiceover work, they only recorded a handful of lines to repeat constantly.
Hey, it's my personal savior. Thanks again for the assist. Hey, it's my personal savior. Been in the Vanguard a long time. Been in the Vanguard a long time. The faces change, but bad guys are still bad.
Vasco, the droid companion, will say your character's name if you manage to name them one of the over 1,000 names he's programmed to speak.
Captain James, greetings. Captain James, greetings.
Which, it's cool at first, but by planet 452,
Captain James.
I was tired of hearing him talk.
But maybe in time that will change.
Seriously though, all of the companions begin to feel repetitive.
Please don't remove yourself from our lives.
To the point I preferred going it alone most of the time.
Of course you do. We all do. Take whatever time you need.
I enjoyed having companions on missions, just not exploring all the time.
Exploring the galaxy is hard work.
In my opinion, as far as companions go, there will never be a better companion than Dogmeat. That said, I still love the dialogue when it came to the story.
I can't imagine how tense and chaotic it must have been.
The other thing that got really old was lockpicking. I didn't have a lot of trouble with it, but almost everything in the game, from a door to a storage chest, had a lock on it. Expert containers contain regular loot, which is the main reason I stopped wasting my time picking locks. Aside from that though, there really isn't much else that I didn't like about the game. Live life as a bounty hunter, tracking down target after target. Become a pirate of the blackest sea, stealing spaceships that cross your path.
This is Freestar Space. Please hold your current speed and heading while we scan you for contraband.
Become a smuggler and travel the galaxy with contraband. I always felt like I was living out this sci-fi fantasy. That's what I love about a Bethesda game. A chance to feel like I'm part of this universe they've created.
My crew wants you to know how much we appreciate the help.
This game didn't just transport me to the region of Skyrim or a city in Fallout. It opened up an entire galaxy of systems with over 1,000 planets to explore.
Is it everything you imagined?
Every moment of this space adventure felt immersive.
This is amazing!
With all that said, I give Starfield a 10 out of 10. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and what did you think of Starfield? Leave your comments down below.
On that note, I think I'd do well to distract myself with a little adventure for a bit.
Oh, and I almost forgot. This.